Anyway, I need to make some more content. I decided I've done quite a few short ones, so I'll do a slightly longer one. This one's going to be cut and edited to fit, just so it's not a full-on like 20-minute rant. And there's a lot to say in this, and I do tend to waffle a bit. So, right, e-bike legislation. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about no. I'm just going to talk about what I would like to see from it. So, current legislation is it's a 250 watt motor, pedal assist only, so no throttle, and it can only assist you up to a speed of 15.5 mile an hour. Dog goes well chuffed, he's got his stick. That's the current legislation. Now, before I go on to what I would like to see, the reasons why people want to use e-bikes and why people should consider getting an e-bike, depending on what type of legislation we get. First of all, you're not going to get the road warrior, cycling enthusiast, wears lycra, goes and rides 50 odd miles. They're not going to be interested in getting an electric bike. Top out. Yeah, so people who maybe use a bike to get to work on a daily basis, I fall into that category. People who use it for recreational purposes, you know, going out for a bit of a bike ride, or weekend, or a summer's evening or something. And possibly, I wouldn't necessarily say people who do it to keep fit, but there's a thing in there for people who want to use it as a way of getting into it, because obviously having an electric motor makes cycling easier. It's an easier way to get into it. So, where are the benefits? Right, well, yeah, if you're going to work and use it as a commuting tool, obviously having the assistance of an electrical motor pushing you along, and maybe even using the throttle, just means you're not arriving to work in a horrible sweaty mess. Because yes, you could pedal to work at 15, you maybe even up to like 20 mile an hour. If you do that on a normal bike, especially if you're going to work on a hot day, you're going to arrive to work at a hot sweaty mess, and if you've got no facilities to get changed or have a shower or anything like that, then you've got to sit in them sweaty clothes that you've just sweated in all fucking day. It's not pleasant for you, it's not pleasant for your fellow employees. People use it recreational purposes. Obviously, again, very similar benefits. You can go further. There's probably people who load a bike into a car, drive the car to somewhere, go and ride the bike around wherever they want to go and ride, and then come back because it's too far to go. If you've got an electric one, you might think, oh well, hang on a minute, if I've got a 60-mile range and I want to go to here, and that's within the range of what you've got on your electric bike, then you don't need to take the car. So that's greener. Plus it's a bit more exercise for you, which brings us on to the people who use it as a way to get active, because it's definitely makes it easier to be more active because you don't have to put as much effort in. So, I mean, one other thing I didn't think about there as well, it also gives kids a way of getting around. Virtually all kids have a bike at some point. So, imagine if it was electric. I mean, alright, if I had an electric bike when I was a kid, I would have got into no end of trouble. I would have been miles away from home. And it's different now. Yeah, so there's plenty of good reasons to have a bike. Now, I'm not going to go over the negatives of bikes because we're all aware of it. We're all aware that there are idiots out there, but there are idiots for everything. There's idiot drivers on the road. You know, so I'm not going to focus on the negatives too much. I'm pretty certain somebody will tell me, oh, you didn't consider this, blah, 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 but it's not here for the negatives, we're here for the positives. Positive people, we've got to be positive. Right, so what would I like to see in the set of legislation when they finally get around to doing it? What I would like to see is, I'd like to see them split them into a couple of categories. Now, ideally, the ones that we have currently, as I mentioned before, 250 watt motor, maximum speed 15 mile an hour. Pedal assist only. That's perfect to start off with. You know, think kids bike, think people who just need just a little bit of an extra boost. People who still want to cycle somewhere, but is that a rat or a vole? I'm not sure. One of the two. Yeah, people just want a little bit of a boost. You know, make it easy to get to it. Maybe they've got a big hill on the way to work or something. Or even worse, a big hill on the way home after you've done a full day's work. And you just want a little boost to get up it. People who want to get fit, whatnot, but just need a little help to get into it. Because don't forget, you can always turn pedal assist off. Then, like, your next stage up. Cheers, fellas. Next stage up, I want to see the wattage increased. Just because at 250 watt, if you're on somewhere with a really steep hills, it won't help you out that much. Sort of 750. Yeah, I'd say sort of 750 because that'll should give you enough power to get up most hills, apart from like really, really steep ones. I'd like to see the speed upped. I'd like to say 20 mile an hour. And I'd like to include a throttle in that, just purely because a throttle gives you more control. You know, if you're pulling away from a set of lights or something, and you start pedaling, it gives you full power straight away, and you might not want to do that for safety reasons, where you might just want just a little bit of throttle just to get you going. You alright? Someone copied my idea of doing a tunnel tube. But there's caveats that come with those. Number one, you have to wear a helmet. If you're going up to like 20 mile an hour, I think you should be considering wearing a helmet, and I think they should make it law that you have to. I would then also probably age restrict these to like 16 maybe, and then this is where it crosses into a bit of thing, because you've got e-motos, which is like your Saurons, your Talarias, your e-ride pros. They're not bicycles, they don't have pedals, they're electric motorbikes. But what you can have bikes that have that sort of power output but have got pedals. So what I'd like to see is another class then, and it comes pretty much in line with the current like moped license. So you'd have to do a CBT, you know, a day's safety course basically, and it's more dealing with road safety, because let's face it, almost everyone can ride a bike. It's not a test on how well you can ride the bike. It's, are you in control of it? Are you safe on it? The problem is when you come to like registering them, taxing them, insuring them. And obviously, I know there are some of these bikes that are capable of going way faster than that, but that's where you put them in a motorbike category. I'm on about keeping it like low power, maybe up to, I don't know, 28, 30 mile an hour. But you need to do a CBT, you need to wear a helmet, possibly more a motorcycle type helmet rather than a bicycle one. A Dot 4 or BS Standards one. I forgot what the standard number is, but yeah, because then you've got an alternative way of getting around, necessarily going on to the whole having to do a test to do a bike or anything. I know you don't have to. I know you can drive as a 125 on a CVT, but you know, a 125 will do 50, 60 mile an hour, sort of equivalent to a 50cc moped. So, I mean, again, you might want to age restrict that, 17, 18 or whatever. But I think that's what they need to do with it, because then it gives people options. And that's what I think is the best way of doing it, is giving people the options to get what they want. I mean, if I was presented with them options, I'd go for the top one. I'd go and do a CVT or something or equivalent. Quite happily wear a helmet. I wouldn't want to pay tax on it though. See, this is the problem, is you don't want bicycles being able to do 30 mile an hour in some places that bicycles go. That's where the big issue is. You know, you're relying on people to use the common sense, and as we've proven time and time again, we can't be sensible. I'm going to go this way. I don't trust all these cars. It's all right. Well, I'll about do it, people. That's my thoughts on it anyway. Whether it actually happens that way or not, I don't know. But we'll see. Right. I'll see you lot later. Bye for now. Toodles.